We are under administration, or aren't we?
Don't know.
The ex-mayor, who may or may not become mayor.
Or what? I'm confused.
My brain hurts.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Bomber.
And you're about to listen to This Week in Sedgefield.
Ba-ba-ba.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Yes, and we're late.
We are. We're sorry.
We're late. Yeah, we're sorry. You were ill.
I was ill. I'm still a little bit ill, but I'm sure I'll be all right. Hey,
you had vertigo.
I did. I still do.
I'm
not even sure if I'm talking to you.
You shouldn't be so tall. That's the problem. Anyway, we apologize to everyone for this podcast being a bit late.
A bit late, yeah.
But
and for me being tall, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
It means that it actually worked out incredibly well because we got some breaking news.
We have.
Some huge news.
Yeah.
It hasn't been covered a whole lot. There's still not a lot of information about it. But before we get onto that, we just wanted to mention that next week we're going to be doing the Oyster Festival special. Can we call it that?
I suppose, yeah, we could call it that. We could call it what we want.
We could. I'm going to call it Frank.
Okay. We're going to be speaking frankly about the Oyster Festival.
That's right.
There we
go.
So
we're going to be speaking about things happening, previous experiences, any stories, and we would love for it to not just be our two voices for once, but for your voice to be included in there. So please do send us your comments, any voice notes that you have of what you are going to do, of what you've enjoyed about the Oyster Festival. I love it. I think it's just something so great. We're going to see our numbers and our tourism swell for the area.
I hope so.
And, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I should
Bring them
hope
in.
so.
Bring them in.
I think we will. It's always such
well, it's all
a
happening,
great time.
and we've got the two Sedgefield events, haven't we? We've got the big one is the classic car show.
Oh yeah, and that's huge. That's been in Car Magazine.
Yeah, it's
all
amazing.
over.
It's just all over. Yeah, and they're specializing in supercars this time round,
and Ferraris,
Ferraris,
and that 1929 mobile or motorbike. Mobile that you were so stoked about. You sent me about.
So
That's
impressed
so cool.
with that. So it's 6th of July at Scarab Arts and Craft Village. Well, everyone knows where that is, but just in case you don't, it's by the engine garage there. And they're concentrating on supercars and high performance models.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Is that people that wear fancy clothing?
No,
Not
that's
that
me.
Sort of,
that's me.
That's you. You're a high performance model. Okay.
Hyper one. Lots of coffee, lots of sugar. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and they've got enthusiasts from the Western and Eastern Cape coming along with their cars, their motorbikes. It's going to be spectacular. 17 Ferraris.
That is so cool.
17 Ferraris.
I didn't notice that many. I missed that part.
I didn't know there was that many in the country. It's absolutely. There'll be McLarens, Porsches.
Ooh.
Yeah, Porsche. A Porsche, Aston Martins, Audi R8, Mercedes-Benz, Chevrolet Corvette, BMW, a Shelby Ford.
Whoa,
Shelby Ford.
Shelby.
Alfa Romeo. I used to have one of those.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Probably still in the ditch you landed it in.
And a selection, a
fine selection.
Cobra V8s.
Whoa, that's going to be cool. I got to admit, my favorite parts from last year's one was the older cars. I mean, I'm not a huge petrol head or anything like that, but seeing some of those Model Ts,
it just takes you back.
Man, it's
it?
so cool. It harkens one back to a simpler time.
Oh, yes. I must say every Christmas season.
Yeah.
I love to watch classic cars, Sedgefield classic cars.
Oh, yeah.
So you see so many middle-aged to older men with their sons who are sort of teens or maybe early 20s, and they're just looking at those cars because they're not vintage cars. Yeah. They're classic cars. So your Anglia,
exactly those.
Datsun 120Y, whatever.
That's it. Yeah, the dustbin,
cars
man.
Cars that the kids, you can say to your kid, I drove one of those. See that VW Beetle? That's how I used to get to Varsity and back.
That's cool.
Or, that's how I met your mother.
That was my first car, yeah.
That's how I met your mother. Where you... No.
That's we're not going to go Let's get on to it.
The breaking news.
We've got the breaking news.
Okay. So, we've been having... our municipality has kind of... We thought been getting better.
Yeah, it seemed like things had been settling down a little bit. We'd had some great shifts, some great people come in from far and wide to help us out and speaking well. And it seemed like there was progress.
The Knysna Infrastructure Group have been doing a lot of work with the municipality.
Yep.
They've been shouting the praises of the municipality.
And getting stuff done together. Yeah,
working together.
That's right.
And a funded budget.
Yes,
which means they've only budgeted what they can afford to spend from the large amount of money that they're getting from us.
Yes.
I'm a bit, the jury's still out on that because they seem to want a lot of money from us.
Yes, my goodness. No, it has escalated a little bit.
Whilst they are proud to have a funded budget, which is the first for a while, it hurts kind of. It's like, yes, Dad, I can afford this. You need to give me more pocket money.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
this is the big one. Yeah.
On the 26th of June, what are we now? We're the 27th.
Yeah.
So yesterday, there was a notice of intention from Anton Bradell.
Yeah, a provincial MEC.
He's
Western
the
Cape.
Western Cape local government MEC,
Okay.
To put Knysna Municipality under administration.
Oh.
So this they've been talking about for a while, haven't they?
It feels like years. I know last year we spent a lot of time talking about it.
I think it was last year, January, kind of. And there was the Western Cape government stepped in and the COGTA, corporate governance national level, stepped in and they provided our municipality with a plan to say, listen, people, things are failing. Follow this plan.
And then that plan was accepted. It was one of the few ones that was unanimously agreed upon in the council. And then they all said, yes, great and brilliant. And then they said, we're going to put it into action by August last year. I remember that well because that was still with Executive Mayor Aubrey Tsenkwa.
Yes.
We'll get to that later. And then it just very, very little happened from that.
Yeah,
it seemed like it was maybe sort of getting better, but Knysna Action Group had to step in as well at certain points.
Knysna Infrastructure Group.
Thank you, Infrastructure Group. Yeah.
Yeah. So out of the blue came this, but I don't know that it was out of the blue.
Yeah. See,
we thought things were getting rosy.
Yeah.
But to quote the DA. Now, this is the DA press release.
Okay, DA press release.
So they are kind of somewhat biased.
No, of course, yeah. They've got an agenda, but there is a lot of a lot of truth there, a lot that we can.
They said that the DA has consistently supported the call for provincial intervention in Knysna due to the continued collapse in municipal services, I suppose they mean of municipal services, that has harmed our communities, our environment, and our local economy.
Yeah.
The Western Cape government has undertaken 3 diagnostic assessments that provided Knysna's coalition with the necessary findings to rescue the municipality.
Yeah.
That's the ruling coalition, obviously.
Yeah.
Each time the municipality has failed to adopt the findings or implement the recommendations.
That implementation is where the big issue came in.
So, Minister Bradell developed a turnaround plan for the municipality, which the council voluntarily adopted in June 2024.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
So, but they are saying the deadlines were missed. Water outages, sewage spills, estuary and other water pollution, and inconsistent refuse removal have become part of a daily life in Knysna.
Yeah.
So this was a thing, wasn't it? And we had a whole... Well, the last month that there's huge water crisis.
The water crisis, and it was labelled, and I want to make a big point of that, as a water crisis. It was officially deemed a water crisis.
Yeah, they announced it because I think how it works is if you say a water crisis or what are they a state of
emergency
or a state of disaster, if you use these words emergency, disaster, there's actually a sort of a legal reckoning.
Correct.
Or something.
It unlocks things.
You're right, that's a very good way to put it. So then money gets thrown at you from
and extra resources, and that's where provincial can actually come in, and that's my question. So there was a 66-page or so document of all of these findings and things like that, which
sent by Anton
Bradell, which then comes to this, that the municipality will be put under administration. This is going to happen. This is happening.
It's weird.
See, this is where we've got to get the clarity.
Yeah, because
there's a little part in there.
We intend.
We intend
and you
to.
have
10 days.
10 days to respond. Now, I don't know. I suppose... Oh, I'm going to be very politically incorrect here.
Go for
I
it.
suppose it's like saying to your 9-year-old, I intend to smack your backside. You have 10 days or 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes to state your case.
To state your case.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But it might not. But
is
without
it a
even
given? Is it not?
See, that's it. Without it even changing now.
Is it 10 days to prepare an argument against it, or is it 10 days for your 9-year-old to put on 15 pairs of underpants so it won't hurt so much?
To evacuate.
Yes.
Maybe it is very much that to get out of here.
Who knows?
So I wanted to look up exactly what this under administration was. It's been done throughout the country. It's a sort of a norm, not a nice norm, but it does need to happen in certain places, certain times. And then according to the Cooperative Governance, Traditional and Traditional Affairs. Anyway, the government website, they've got under here, it's very funny, right at the top it says every municipality must work, but the website is horribly broken. Anyway. So section 139 of the Constitution. So
this is what Anton Bradell used that number? Yeah.
That's it, He uses the number 139. Yeah. It authorizes the provincial executive to intervene in a municipality when it does not fulfill its executive obligation in terms of legislation. So, and then it has 2 points for it, for why this might happen. And I think embedded in here is a little bit of why this might not happen and why they're giving 10 days. I could be utterly wrong in this, like completely off base, but this is what I'm thinking. So if a municipality cannot or does not fulfill an obligation in terms of or legislation to approve a budget or any revenue raising measures necessary to give effect to the budget, so if they miss out on the budget completely, they don't do it, anything like that, or if a municipality, because of a crisis, but this is of a crisis in its financial affairs, is in serious or persistent material breach of its obligations to provide basic services or to meet its financial commitments, or admits that it is unable to meet its obligations or financial commitments.
Okay.
So a lot around money and around budgets and around funding. Now, there are probably more parts to this. And of course, in anything to do with the law, there are going to be a lot of subpoints, but that's really how it's not even summarized. That's how it's laid out. And in there, it doesn't have specifically that it's just not fulfilling the infrastructure ones. Now, this is from 2023, so parts of it may have been updated in the interim. But I think where it's giving 10 days is because one of the ways that it could be put under administration is if it admits that it is unable to meet its obligations or financial commitments.
Okay, so now,
yes,
well, at least you and I don't know about how many other people, were under the impression that they were doing that.
Yes.
We kind of got the impression that things were working reasonably well. Since working with the Knysna Infrastructure Group.
That's it. They were one of the big key players.
A reminder to everyone, the Knysna Infrastructure Group is a group of people, volunteers, businesses and individuals who have stepped up to the mark to help the municipality, to work with the municipality, step in and basically put money in where it's needed in emergency.
That's it, yeah.
Where the municipality's cash flow hasn't allowed it at that stage. Because what happened with a lot of the infrastructure was, let's say, a broken water pump, like a big water pump.
Big broken water pump.
One of the two that provides Knysna with water. If one was broken, and then they would go to the supplier and say, you need to fix it. And the supplier would say, hang on, guys, you still owe us money.
Yeah, from the previous pump.
We're not doing it until... So Knysna Infrastructure Group were, from what I can see, were raising money from people who had a vested interest in keeping Knysna going because it's their hometown.
Because we live here, it's businesses and individuals,
They got a lot of money input, and they would monitor that money, say, okay, we need to pay for this pump. Knysna Municipality will obviously, when the budget allows, pay it back, or when that money comes through or whatever. They've spent an absolute fortune. But, this is where, once again, to quote Shrek, the big but comes in. So there was a recent release from the infrastructure group, the Knysna Infrastructure Group, saying they've had a phenomenal amount of money in here.
Yeah, it was
phenomenal amount of money.
Yeah,
I think,
how much? Was 300,000? Was it?
Oh no, yeah, no. That's the total amount is it is even more than that.
Really, I thought that 300,000 was the total. That's already that's a pretty penny.
There was disbursements from fund. 900 total number of donors 743.
Whoa.
The rand value 995,000.
Oh my goodness! So let's just call it $1 million.
Let's call it $1 million. Okay. But now the problem, what they're saying is the problem that they have is that the reimbursement by the Knysna municipality of the monies paid by the Knysna infrastructure group.
Yeah. Remember, the municipality that has said we have a funded budget. We're all good now. In fact, there's going to be a bit of a surplus. Look how progressive we are, they have said. Yeah.
Knysna infrastructure group forked out 399,000. So let's call it 400,000.
Shall we?
For the water emergency.
Yeah.
In other words,
for the water crisis.
The water crisis. So pumps needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
I think some replaced, so on and so forth.
There were parts that needed to come in.
To fly in.
They
were doing all sorts of things. They are still awaiting that money back from the municipality.
Not good.
So it's been escalated with the municipality according to the KIG.
Yeah, they filled out all the forms.
They're saying legal action is becoming more and more of an option.
So that funding that was going to go to helping do the job that the municipality is supposed to be doing could very well go towards legal fees now to get money back from it.
So and Knysna municipality is kind of keeping mum about what is necessary to get the money out. They're waiting for a meeting with the mayor and the municipal manager.
This does not bode well.
They've just done a new spend of 16,750 rand to repair the NSRI pump.
And so they're still just going ahead.
They're going ahead with some of the stuff.
Because
I'm
people
amazed.
need it. Because
it's saving the people. And they said a total of 17 critical pump stations have no working pumps.
This is from the Knysna infrastructure group. They're saying
the
there
guys
are
on the ground.
that many pumps,
17 critical pump stations have no pumps.
And that's surely, that's, as we go through this lengthy document, it's going to be pointing to things like that the infrastructure has failed and is failing, continues to fail. If not for this kind of intervention, there would be, where was it? Was it Hornley? Where was the big water crisis? Rhondda? Help me out here.
There was a few.
Yes, the most recent one where there were tires across the road being burnt and all of that.
Oh, Renendal.
Yes. They were one of the ones that, if we don't have the stuff, they just would not have water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full stop at the end of that.
Yeah. We don't know. Is there a political will to get this done?
Yeah.
I really think that the municipality should be playing their cards, showing their cards.
That's right. I agree.
To the Knysna infrastructure group to say, okay, this is where we are as part of this budget. Maybe the new budget will have money to pay for the old repairs. I don't know.
Yeah. So let me put you on the spot with this. Do you think putting under administration from our current understanding of it, which we didn't even speak about, but it's what Anton Bredell has said, and what the Act says, the section, is that then a provincial power can take some or all of the municipal kind of power, take it over entirely. So this isn't a dissolving yet, but it could be. Is the language that he used?
The word out there is that he's talking. He mentioned the dissolving of the council.
So the thoughts are there. And then my put you on the spot question then is, do you think that would be good? Do you think that's the right move?
Wow, I don't know.
Knee-jerk reaction.
My knee-jerk reaction is, yes, it would be good.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But
it's a big but.
I like big butts.
I cannot lie.
The question is, which leads us actually very well into our next topic of the same topic.
Yeah.
It will be good. I think it will be good if the voting public votes with their minds, not their hearts.
That's it.
And the reason I say this is because we also, as you know, we also just got the results in for the Ward 8.
Yeah, Ward 8 by-elections.
And I couldn't believe it. Nor could you.
So first, why did we have these why did Ward 8 have these by-elections? This is Ward 8 of the Knysna Council.
Oh, Ward 8 of the Knysna Council had these by-elections because at one stage, 2 councillors resigned.
Yes, well,
they resigned, but they were
ousted.
on their way out because Minister Bradell had said that it had been proven by the courts that they had lied under oath, basically.
Yeah.
They had misled the courts and misrepresented the council in the employment of some people and whatever you. So the mayor of the time, Aubrey Tsengwa, ANC councillor, before he could get kicked out, he left. As did the deputy.
Or was it Councillor Matika?
No,
not
Albert
Matika,
Marby.
sorry.
Albert
Marby, yeah. Who then said he's going to go on to the Garden Route municipality.
So Aubrey Tsengwa was an elected councillor, as in a ward councillor. Yeah. And Alberto Marby was a PR councillor, so he got in on the number of votes that the Patriotic Alliance got. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And then he was replaced by
Morton
Gericke, who then got voted in as deputy mayor.
Yeah, and he's PBI.
Which leads us to who won the Ward 8 election. And would you believe?
I don't want to believe it.
The man who won it was Aubrey Tsengwa.
Aubrey Tsengwa is
the man who stepped down because he was going to be forced to leave because it had been proven that he had misrepresented in court, stepped down, had a bit of a fight with the ANC, somehow got back into the ANC as their potential candidate for Ward 8 and has won the election.
Yeah. And this was, it was also jarring because he was kicked out. I think it was the votes of no confidence of him being mayor. And then at the end of one of the meetings, in the last few minutes, he's like, oh, by the way, guys, I resign. I'm out. Yeah. Where in his speech, he had said that he was looking forward to getting back to his ward and helping out there. And, it was all very docile and very nice. And now he is back in.
So I am angry with 2 different factions.
Ooh, yeah?
I'm very angry with
a multi-faction anger.
A multi-factional anger. It's like a little Swiss Army knife of anger.
Not this anger, not this anger. This
anger.
Is
the anger used for getting stones out of horses' hooves. I'm angry with the people who voted him in because surely, unless there's I don't know, some kind of propaganda thing out there, surely they would say, man, this guy didn't do us well because he lied in court, because he failed with this and and he didn't have a good run as mayor, did he?
No, honestly, I mean, he was the one who showed off Knysna on carte blanche.
Yes.
And didn't particularly do
But
a
also
great job,
I'm angry with the ANC.
Yeah.
Because why did they put him back, man? Come on, have some backbone. Choose honest people.
Well, this is the thing, and this is really at the forefront of a lot of our thinking now with between the DA and ANC and all of these guys and firings and
we don't know what's going to happen. Will he want his mayoral seat back? Will he want
if he gets that?
Will he want the speaker seat? Or the Kim guys, Mark Willemse and Suzanne are there, and Kim. Mark's got the speaker position. Will he want that position? I don't know. He's going to want a reasonable paid position. He's not going to want to be. Well, maybe I'm putting ideas in his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now, I want to know: does the fact that Anton Bradell was going to remove him still stand? So he was going to be removed.
He was going to be fired.
He was going to be removed as for behavior unwhat to a councillor?
Untoward.
Untoward.
Uncouth.
Uncouth.
Unceremonious.
He misbehaved, and he did not behave in the way that councillors should.
He done did wrong.
He was going to, he done did wrong. He was going to be thrown out.
Yeah.
Then he left. But now he's back.
Yeah.
So does that ruling still stand?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. But
B.
Yeah, B.
Not that I said A, but B. B anyway.
Poppy.
B. If the administration starts of the Knysna municipality and they dissolve council and have new elections, does that mean that Aubrey Tsengwa is out and has to stand again for the third time?
Yes. Which, I mean, he seems to be getting pretty good at it. He's got a good track record of getting back in.
And now that I think about it, C, or number 3, or 3 little eyes with a dot.
Yes, there we go. The Roman numeral 3,
If we have these elections, these new, our councils dissolve, let's have new elections. Let's get
and not
new
the same
people
ones
in.
as the rest of the country, the municipal
that's what
elections.
I want to know.
Oh,
If we have these elections,
oh goodness, yes,
which would only be towards the end of this year because they've obviously still got to organise them. No, if we have these
I'm
new
getting confused.
elections,
Too many elections.
The nationwide local government elections are due to happen next year.
Right.
So are they going to throw them out again? And have new ones?
What?
I don't know. I'm confused.
It's all a bit of a mess.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or will the provincial authorities come in and take over until then? Because they said specifically in that statement, until there is there are elected people who are in there, that's when they will hand it over again.
It could be. You may be right. Because we've said
maybe
all
they were
along,
waiting for that long.
We've said all along, it felt like the DA didn't want to take over now. They want to wait until the local elections and then get a resounding vote in. That's what they're hoping for. So that there's so that they wouldn't need a coalition to stay in power. Because obviously their coalition, I think they had a coalition with the PA and the PBI way back then.
Yeah,
I don't know.
DA?
The DA did,
Oh, did they?
Before, I think the PA crossed they left the coalition and joined the ANC.
Yes.
That's when the DA lost the authority
the majority,
of the thing. And
So
it's all very confusing.
Well, that's what I think then. I think that they've waited until this last moment because it's, why are you stalling? Why do you keep saying you're going to put it under administration? But this is maybe close enough to when they think we don't have the dates yet for when these municipal elections will happen. Yeah. So maybe they think, cool, well, we're going to have probably about a year now, if not less. And there's no ways that you would have 2 full-on elections. It's pricey, it's messy, it's all of that. That's what I think.
I want to I don't want to sound like a politician because that's the last thing I want to sound like. But I want to make it'll sound like a political statement, but it's a request.
Yes.
Put Knysna first.
Oh.
Hey, don't you think?
I knew you were gonna start sounding like Trump. I thought you might.
No.
I thought you might drop a cuss in there for it.
I don't want to make Knysna great again.
Yeah.
And the last person in the world I want to sound like is Donald Trump. I just wish that they would just say, okay, stuff the national view or the provincial view, whatever. Get some people in who actually care about Knysna.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that all of the councillors do.
No, because
or all of the councillors don't.
Yeah, there are so many who do, who genuinely do, and we love their work.
I really wish that even in the hierarchy of these parties, that they don't look at it as it's just a little Knysna. We can use it to our advantage.
Yeah,
we can use
because
it
they tried that,
as a scapegoat or as an example of how bad things can go, or because it's the jewel of the garden route. Well, Sedgefield is really, but we are part of Knysna.
Yeah.
We really want people that are going to say, just put Knysna first, get it going properly. Man, and you see, that's why I really believe national politics should be taken out of local governance, and everyone that is elected should not be part of a national party.
Sure.
They should be individuals.
I agree with you.
That's a conversation for another day.
No, it is, but because there needs to be a whole restructure of it. It's just its structure. It brings in a lot of really good people, and we have many of those, and I really love our Sedgefield ones especially, but a lot of them. But it also attracts people who are career politicians, and we spoke at length about that. And I think it's about time that we stopped speaking about that.
It's how Sedgefield Municipality, when it was on its own, used to work. It was basically volunteers. Anyway, shall we move on to more pleasant things?
Well,
or do we have time?
We don't.
We don't.
We're all done for today.
I tell you what, let's just say penguin.
Oh, I feel better.
Penguin. You feel better.
I feel
do, because I was feeling dirty.
Yes.
So penguin. Penguin.
But we would love to hear what everyone is doing during the Knysna Oyster Festival. We got
absolutely,
of course, lots to speak about.
And I hope you feel better soon.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll try to be less tall and less vertigo-y.
Yes, try
not
watch
to look, a little bit
just
less.
Don't look down.
Don't look down.
Yeah. Don't look down on me, especially.
It's hard.
I know. I can understand.
Hey, thanks for the chat.
It's been real.